Hey you guys, thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about the most beautiful eyeshadow palette released this year. Yes, I can confidently tell you guys that this is the most beautiful palette released and I love it. There you go. I already told you guys. So this is Pat McGrath's eyeshadow palette and this is Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction. This is actually, like it says, the fifth eyeshadow palette, but I think she has three eyeshadow palettes as a permanent, and this one is also, thankfully, thank God for that. This is not limited edition. This is a permanent eyeshadow palette as well, and it is exclusive to Sephora, but at the moment you have only four Mothership palettes. The Mothership 4 palette, which is Decadence palette, was released early this year, I think for spring, and then it's no longer available. It was limited edition, so right now you have only four Mothership palettes and all four of them are permanent. So you get okay, this retails for $125 and you get 10 eyeshadows in it. Yes, very pricey. I think price per gram and everything put together, this probably is the priciest eyeshadow palette, at least from Sephora, or maybe overall, just across the board, across just everywhere. This is one of the most expensive palette. I know oh god, Natasha Denona, her palette's $129, but you get a lot more product in it. She gives you 2.5 grams of product in each pan, but here in Decadence palette and the mini palettes that she came out, the mini 6-pan palette, she gave us 2 grams of product in each pan, but in this palette she's gone down to the older quantity that she had offered in the Mothership 1, 2 and 3. So in the Decadence palette altogether you got 20 grams of product. So 10 pans, 20 grams of product, you got 2 grams in each pan. That was really good, especially for the price you pay. And of course the quality in the Decadence palette also was very good, but here you get only 13.2 grams of product, and that comes up to in ounce per pan you get 0.04 ounce of product, and that is not even like one full size MAC eyeshadow or one full size Urban Decay eyeshadow. And just for reference, MAC and Urban Decay, you get 0.05 ounce of product in each pan, so you get 0.04 ounce of product in each pan in the Pat McGrath, oh sorry for that, Pat McGrath palette. So you don't get a lot of product, to be honest. That is a tiny bit of letdown, especially for the price you pay, and especially when she gave us 2 grams in each pan with the Decadence palette and La Vie en Rose, the tiny palettes that she came in for in summer, right? So yeah, to give a lot of product and then to change it back to less quantity weight, it was a little bit of letdown. But again, there are a lot of baked I think those are baked. I think there are 4 baked eyeshadows in this palette, so maybe it's a different weight. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it was a tiny bit of letdown. I really wish that she gave us 2 grams of product in each pan. But yeah, so in all, I think as of now, in all of the permanent eyeshadow palettes 1, 2, 3 and 5, fifth, this is the fifth, you get 0.04 ounce of product in each pan. So it's not a lot, to be honest, especially for the price you pay. That's the only letdown, if you ask me. But yeah, let's get into the actual product, you guys. It looks exactly ditto, exactly as all the other full-size palettes that she's come out with. Black, and then this logo, it says PM, and then that's Pat McGrath, and then you have L, and then there's like a crown, and then there's an eye with a tear in it. So, and at the back, I don't want to blind you guys because it's like gold, and it just says Pat McGrath Labs Mothership, used without caution. The regular stuff, you know, shade throwing and eye ecstasy may result with prolonged use. So the palette is made in Italy, and as earlier said, you get 0.04 ounce of product in each pan, and altogether you get 13.2 grams of product. So yeah, hopefully that wasn't too boring for you guys, but I had to make that comparison because you get way less product this time than the palette that she released earlier this year compared to Decadent. So I really had to inform you guys about that. You do get like a beautiful heavyweight mirror. The palette itself is quite heavy too. And then here are the stunning shades. Those are the beautiful shades that you see. So these four, I think even in Mothership 1, 2, 3 palettes, these four shades in the corner, they were those baked kind of shades. I don't know how to explain them, but they don't feel like, they are powder, but I feel they feel totally different. They are a lot more sheer and crazy reflective. These four are the special shades in all of our Mothership palettes. And these two are actually powder shadows, but they have the tendency to be very reflective, crazy reflective. And yeah, but they are powder. I can tell that I think everybody can tell the difference when you swatch these two shadows, and these two are powder, but still they're very reflective. These four are kind of the baked kind of formula. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into the swatches, you guys. I almost lost this sheet. It has the names on it. So I was searching a lot right before I filmed the video. So hopefully I'm getting the names right. Yes. So let's get into the swatches. This is called Skin Show Divine Glow. Alright, this is called Skin Show Divine Glow. And that is just a pale gold. It's not a champagne or anything. It has that yellow gold color to it. It definitely looks yellow. It doesn't look very ashy on me because of that yellow gold shimmer. Very, very micro shimmer. But it's not like very crazy pigmented, as you can see. But it's more of a soft shimmer. Definitely a soft shimmer. It's not even like a metallic shade. It's a soft shimmer. And that is Skin Show Divine Glow. And then next you have, what's that? Entrapment. Entrapment is like a mid-tone brown. This is slightly tiny bit darker than my actual skin tone, but I can definitely use it as a transition shade. Or you could even use this if you have my skin tone, my skin color, similar to my skin color. You can definitely use it in your crease to give a very soft definition, just to give like the tiniest bit of definition. So yeah, that is a mid-tone brown color. And then that next shade is Bronze Blaze. That is like a true bronze, but not too brownish. It definitely has like a coppery gold tone to it. It's beautiful. It's actually quite gritty to the touch. It's not at all smooth. It doesn't have that silicone feel. It's very gritty to the touch. And do you see how reflective that is? As you can see, it does have chunky glitter, hence the grittiness, but it doesn't like fall. There's no fallout once you apply it well on your eyelids. And yeah, it's a beautiful color. It's not subtle at all. It's really like in your face kind of bronze color. And it's not, I really love that it's not too brown. It's definitely has like a gold to it, so it like pops on dark skin. Usually bronzes have a lot more brown, and it kind of just blends into my skin. And then next is one of the stars of the palette is Rose Gold 005. That is a shade I have in the center of the eyelids. Do you see that? That is Rose Gold. And that is that kind of baked formula. Look at that. Just look at that. Beautiful. There's that. Just beautiful. It is sheer, as you can see. It doesn't have a lot of base, but you can obviously wet your brush, use your finger. They all work well, but using a dry brush or without using a sticky primer, you won't get a lot of product on your eyelids. Using a dry brush and applying it on your eyelid, which without a primer, it's not going to work out. So you definitely need something to get that those shiny reflective particles to hold on to. You definitely need something. Either wet your brush or use sticky primer on your eyes, or use your finger, something. So that is rose gold. It's a beautiful rose gold. It's not too ashy. You can definitely see the rose tones. And next is VR. I think it's virtual reality. Is that what she means? I'm not sure. VR Fire Opal. And this is actually, it has this yellow to green shift. And that is the shade I have just in the inner corner on both my eyes. And that I did not apply wet. I did not apply with my finger for some reason, and I used a dry brush. So I don't know, it just went on very smoothly, and obviously I had like an eyeshadow primer, but still it went on very, very, very smoothly. And this has, this is pretty smooth to the touch if you ask me. It has purple to green shift. From here, I don't know, I can see purple. I don't know if you can see. Since I have it only in a very small portion of my eye, even I can't see the purple shift, but I think if I apply it in the entirety of the eyelid, I can definitely see the purple to green shift. It's beautiful, you guys. It's beautiful. And yeah, now let's move on to the next row. This is Extreme Aubergine. That is the shade, it's a matte. That is the shade I have in the lower lash, in the outer V, and just into the crease there. And it's, as you can see, it's a purple color. Look at the pigmentation, you guys. I do not, my arms are not moisturized, not primed. I'm just applying it just like that. So you can see how the product is sticking to, and you know, not moisturize something. There's nothing sticky on my skin that would adhere the products to. Obviously, I am using my fingers, so yeah, that definitely helps. So that is Aubergine. Again, a good pigmentation. As you can see, it blends well. It doesn't really, even when I blend this particular matte color, it doesn't really sheer out to be a strong purple. It actually stays exactly the same even if I sheer this color, so it like stays true. You can see that there's a tiniest bit of like purple, but still it's not that visible if you ask me. Even I can't tell that it's a purple. You can easily mistake this color that the Extreme Aubergine for like a rich black brown. You know, it's not obviously black. I can tell that it's not black, but it feels like a soft black, like some kind of a brown is added to it. So it's a little hard to tell that it's like a deep purple black color. You know what I mean? So I just want to accurately describe the shade to you guys. That's it. I don't want to bore you guys. And then this is, next is Guilty Pleasure. This is like a, hang on, don't want to drop this. No way. This is also gritty. This feels very similar to the bronze color. This is also gritty, but it is a powder shadow. It's more like a olive toned gray color maybe. I don't know. It's like a very dirty olive toned color. It is also very gritty, as I said, and also has chunky glitter to it. But it's not as metallic and glittery as a bronze Seduction, but it obviously has shimmer to it. So that is Guilty Pleasure. And then next is Disobedient. Disobedient is actually more of a reddish brown. It's a little darker than this brown, obviously, the one in the top row, but this is a little darker. And that is, there you go. Now these two, the Aubergine shade and this, hang on, yeah. The Aubergine shade and the reddish brown shade, Disobedient, they actually look entirely different on the skin, on my eyes. You can this matte, and this matte, all three. Obviously this looks completely different because it's like a mid-tone color. Now these two are dark colors, but they both look completely different. This looks like a brown and this looks way more intense, so they don't look just like some random dark colors on the eyes. They do look different. So yeah, there's that. Again, great pigmentation, blends well, no problem with the mattes at all. And then we have Blitz Flame, which is the red color. I could not pass up a chance to not use the red color. There's something on that. Did I say not use? I could not pass up a chance to use red color. It was so good, you guys, so smooth. There is a red color in the Decadence palette. It's completely different. It's more like cranberry color. This is like a true red. That reddish orange shift, that is a duochrome first of all, and it's more of a powder eyeshadow. The Decadence palette, all the 10 eyeshadows in the Decadence palette, which is no longer available, all 10 of them were powder eyeshadows. This is more like a baked kind of formula, these 4. And the shade is completely different. I'm sorry, I don't have it, the Decadence palette right now. I should have brought it with me though to show you comparison, but it's completely different. It's a duochrome, the one in the Decadence palette, and it's like a it's a softer red to orange shift. It's good though. It's a beautiful color. And then finally we have Astral Luna Gold, which looks white, but it has a crazy yellow gold reflect to it. Just look at that. Wow. There you go. Just beautiful, beautiful colors. Now I feel without these glittery formula, this palette would just be quite boring, don't you think? Just the glitter, just the finishes and the formula just make such a huge difference, you know. It just makes a palette, it changes the palette altogether, if you ask me. Without these glitter, this kind of looks like what, the sultry palette from Anastasia for the holiday, which just looks so boring. But obviously it doesn't look just like that. It just reminds me of that, just, you know, neutrals with just like a dark mattes thrown in and some medium tones thrown in just for the sake of it. So yeah, but just a formula in these, the glitter and these 4 like baked, semi-baked maybe, I'm not sure. This formula just makes a world of difference, you guys. As I said, I love the metallics. I always love Pat McGrath's metallics. That's the reason I buy her eyeshadows. And the mattes are obviously 10 out of 10, but it's the metallics I'm after. And I can truly and confidently tell you guys that these metallics, there's nothing like that out in the market. You can achieve looks like that, but with pigments, Inglot pigments, I would highly recommend if you're looking for just like metallic finish, something like that. You can just look into some rose gold Inglot pigments, or like there is like an Inglot pigment which looks white and then with a gold shift to it. There is one with white which looks white with a green shift to it. Yes, you can achieve like shimmery, crazy shimmery looks like this with pigments, but this, just the ease of just products in a pressed way, I think it really makes a significant difference as a consumer, at least as a consumer, because you know, if you're a professional, you obviously calculate all the weight and the price and how much you're going to use and how much you can save up and everything. But as a consumer, I think ease really plays a very, very important role. Ease for travel, to use as a consumer, because we're not that experienced, you know. So I think if you want it in the pressed version, at least I haven't seen anything like this. So this is definitely the most unique kind of formula, I would say, and I love it. And I personally, for me, since I love metallics and I love Inglot pigments and how reflected they are, I love Inglot pigments, you guys. I use them at least once a week. That's how regularly I use pigments. I'm not afraid of using pigments. Well, the not so good ones, they can be really difficult, but the ones that are such high quality pigments like Inglot pigments, they are extremely easy to use and you can achieve crazy good looks, like such reflective eyeshadow look. So I use them all the time. So to see something like that in a press like an eyeshadow form makes me very, very happy. So for me it is worth it. What else? But the good thing is, if you are looking to buy this, not maybe not right now, this palette will always be available. It is not limited edition, it is permanent. So take your time to buy it, because I think these colors would satisfy everybody, because they are on the neutral side, some warm, and you also have this like olive tone, like a cool tone, shimmery shade. And this captures the true essence of holiday, I would say. Nothing else comes close, you guys, at least as far as I've seen the promo pics with other brands. This really captures. You have the red, you have the gold. Oh, gold, here's the red, gold, green, and the rose gold. It just looks like those Christmas ornaments that you see, ornaments and the decoration things that you see in the shops, just drenched with the glitter and shiny, and just, you know, I mean, it definitely, she's captured the holiday spirit with this eyeshadow palette. Do recommend it, absolutely. The only tiniest letdown for me personally is that you get only 0.04 ounce of product in each pan, because she did give us 2 grams of product in her Decadence palette and in her mini palettes. The one I have is La Vie en Rose. So yeah, that's the only tiniest bit of letdown for me. But yeah, I will buy it anyways. Even the future palettes that she will release, if it has these beautiful shades, absolutely. I think personally for me it's worth it because I love metallics. What else? I think I've covered everything. Yeah, I think I have. Hope this video was useful. Hope this helped you make a decision. Hope the swatches were useful for you guys. I think I talked to you guys about how to use it. The mattes, just use it as just like any other mattes. And the metallics, you need some kind of way for the shiny particles to stick to one another. Either use it with your fingers, or a sticky base, or a wet brush. Has to be something, otherwise there's barely anything transferring from the brush to, from a dry brush to your dry eyelids. You know, it's a little pointless if you do it that way. What else? I think I've said everything. Yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for staying. If you have stayed with me till the end, I very much appreciate spending your very precious time with me. I truly feel very special if I think about it. So yeah, I will see you guys very, very soon, and thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys soon again.